Okay, the next three examples are all going to use this exact procedure here. As with most algebraic procedures, if you need to do it, do it. If you don't, skip it. Okay? If they're already in descending order, done. Okay? If not, then you got to fix it. All right, so you want to start off with everything in descending order equal to 0. X squared plus x plus constant equals 0. All right? Then move the constant to the other side, leave a gap. I'll point out what that means when I get to it. Then you do what we just did in example 1. Complete the square on the x squared side. Divide linear coefficient by 2 and squared. That's what we did. It says add to both sides though. I'm going to do plus 9 here. I've got to do a plus 9 there. It's an equation. They're equal to each other. So if I add 9 to this side, I have to add 9 to that side. Okay. So make sure that this happens. This is the most common mistake at this juncture for people, is they don't add things to both sides. Okay, you have to add the number. It's required. You can't work the problem without doing it. But if you're going to add this side something, you have to add that side something. Factor the left side, that's what we did the other part of the thing. So again, that's completing the square. If I do plus 9 and it's equal to something over here, all right, plus 9 there, so plus 9 over here. Okay, factor the left is going to be that. All right. Add the right side, add the numbers. If I get 6 plus 9 is 15. 2 plus 3 is 5. I don't know why you get a 3 though. 3 is not. 2 plus 4 is 6. There, that's more like it. All right. Add the right side. Then you're going to square root both sides. Once you've done this step, you're going to recognize that because we've seen these before. They're going to look like this. X plus 3 squared equals 7. Remember problems like this? Yeah. And then x plus 3 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 7. Right? So we've already done these problems from here forward. All right, so again, that's what the book likes to do. They know they're going to come up with some procedure coming down the road. They want to get you comfortable with the technique. This is something we've seen before, so after step 4, you're going to see a problem looking like this. Square root both sides, plus or minus on the square root term, and then move the constant to the other side. Solve for x. So let's do this. Example 50.2. And I like to put a homework box on here just to kind of give you an idea of what your homework paper is going to look like when you do these problems. So for 2 reasons. Number 1, I want to make sure you're demonstrating that you're going through the whole procedure, okay, that you're actually going through the process to get the answer instead of letting some electronic device help you or back of the book help you. And also to see you, for you to see that they fit. All right. All those steps, there's 6 steps. It seems like a lot. Some of those steps can be combined. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So first off, this is already in descending order equals 0 form. So step 1 is basically done for us. So I'm going to skip step 1. I'm going to go right to step 2. Step 2 says to move the constant being the thing without x, to the other side, leaving a gap. So here's what I mean by leave a gap. X squared plus 6x gap equals 4. Okay? The reason I'm leaving a gap is because I know ahead of time, hey, I'm supposed to add something to both sides, right? So I'm leaving myself some space to put it in there so my work doesn't become all like crammed into a little tiny spot there. So I'm leaving myself some space to put something there that I know has to go there. That's what step 2 is going to look like every single time. X squared, something x, gap equals number. Okay, I don't care what this number is, just put it, whatever it is. Negative 4 moves across, becomes positive 4, that's fine. Step 3, complete the square. Okay, plus 6x, half of 6 is 3, 3 squared is 9. So plus 9 is my magic number, so I'm going to do plus 9 to this side also. Alright, that's all step 3 is. Find the magic number, add it to both sides, create your nice little perfect square trinomial on the left, create whatever you get over on this side. I don't care what this is. It's going to be something as part of the answer. I care in that regard, but I don't care what this side looks like. This side is the side I'm trying to make into something that's easily done. Step 4, factor the left, add the right. Okay. Hopefully step 4 becomes something that's very quick to you like that. Because again, factoring is very, very simple, perfect square trinomial. Square root, sine, square root, squared. It's always parentheses squared. Square root, sine, square root. X, right now it's going to be x every time unless it's p or q or some other letter, but it'll be some letter squared, whatever that letter is. And it's some number here, which you just took half of this to make this perfect square, right? 3 squared, 3. So half of that actually. All right, and whatever this side is, 4 and 9 is 13, that's easy. I learned how to do that in 2nd grade maybe. Whatever grade you learn how to add single digit numbers, that's when I did it. All right, finally, I'm to step 4 finished, now I'm at step 5. Square root both sides. Again, this is the point we've already been at before. Square root of this is just x plus 3. The square root of this is the square root of 13. I have to put a plus or minus in front of that square root symbol. And then I simply solve for x, that's step 6, and solve for x just means move the 3 over here. Remember that I told you to put the number you moved over in front of the plus or minus sign. The square root of 13 doesn't evaluate to anything nice and pretty, so I'm going to leave it as the square root of 13. And that's the final answer to the problem. That's the value of x that makes that equal to 0. I can prove it. Get my calculator out here. Okay, I'm going to type in -3 plus the square root of 13, and I'm going to call that x. So store x. So now that's x. All right. So now if I type in x squared plus 6x minus 4, what should it equal? It should equal 0, right? There you go.
Wow.
All right. So again, all we're doing is we're finding the value that makes that equal to 0, and -3 plus the square root of 13 is one of them. If I go back here and change it to -3 minus the square root of 13, maybe, there we go, and type in the same thing, x squared plus 6x minus 4, still equals 0.
Wow.
All right, and this is the exact answer. All right, -3 plus or minus the square root of 13 is exactly right, where 0.6056 and -6.6056 are approximately right. That's better. Exactly right is always better than approximately right. So keep that in mind, that that's the kind of answers you're going to be looking for on these problems that don't factor. Okay? The ones that do factor, this technique still works. It's just here you'll get like -3 plus or minus the square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3, then all of a sudden you get whole number answers to it. So it's possible to get whole number answers to these things also. Just know that if they don't have factored answers, they don't have nice pretty answers like 2 and 7. You need answers like that. This is one of the ways to do it. The other way to do it is coming up down the road.